So today is definitely a weird one. We're having three separate Luciuses from three separate series go head to head against each other, starting off with Lucius Malfoy from the Harry Potter series. So starting off as a Death Eater, he already has access to tons of dark magic, including that one weird, I forgot the name of it, it's like a black cloud thing. They use it for like flying. It grants him absurd mobility on the battlefield. Plus he's a master duelist, meaning he's pretty good in a 1v1 fight. He's mastered all three unforgivable curses, and has access to several other powerful magic spells. One can basically just, like, thrall a person. Plus, access to tons of dark magics that can just obliterate people easily. Like, normal people die instantly when hit with it. He also possesses poisons, which is something I feel like a lot of people forget about, but he does have poisons apparently, and although I'm sure he has a broom, he doesn't really need one to fly. Lucius from Fire Emblem is a skilled mage, possessing several elemental magics, healing magic, light magic, etc. He's also apparently skilled with the sword later on, but don't really see much of that. On top of that, he has tons of combat experience throughout the game, and I mean, he's just a better fighter than these other two Luciuses would be. That's not even, like, a question. On top of that, fireman characters tend to be faster than light just by default dodging speeds. So, yeah. Lucius from AFK Arena definitely wins durability just due to the armor. Plus, is a better melee fighter and has tons of hacks abilities that will definitely come into play in this. The debuffs and buff abilities that he can grant himself or potential allies can be pretty effective against these other two. Who would win out of these three if they were all three just start fighting each other out of the blue? Well, for starters, the Death Curse is not really going to be a factor here, as both other Luciuses should be able to dodge it pretty easily. Especially Fire Emblem Lucius, who can dodge light. On top of that, elemental magics will be pretty effective against the other two, meaning Fire Emblem Lucius is going to take a win there. In terms of melee combat, Lucius from AFK Arena could kill the other two pretty easily if he gets close, which is unlikely. Short, I think AFK Arena Lucius just gets obliterated from a range where he has a chance to really do anything. And Lucius from Fire Emblem is just faster and a better fighter overall than Lucius from Harry Potter. You could argue that, but I mean, the only thing Lucius from Harry Potter has on him is maneuverability, which doesn't matter since he's a lot slower. On top of that, Lucius from Harry Potter is easily the most cowardly out of these three by far, whereas both other Luciuses are usually considered relatively brave to a degree, with Lucius from Fire Emblem literally standing his ground against whole armies at some points in the story. Not very effectively, but hey, I mean, he tried. On top of that, Lucius from Fire Emblem's speed advantage is going to give him a reaction speed advantage, which means he could potentially just get hits off right at the start of the fight and get away quickly and just spam range attacks. Plus, if either other Lucius was able to get an edge on Lucius from Fire Emblem, he is a melee fighter too, not as good as AFK Arena. It's a Lucius, but he's still good enough to beat the absolute shit out of Harry Potter Lucius at closer range. Plus, if Lucius from Harry Potter doesn't keep out of range, AFK Lucius is gonna beat the just straight shit out of him easily, like instantly. The debuffs could be effective to Lucius's healing magic, but since his fight's gonna be him, well, fighting, that's not really effective. It's gonna matter much. Ultimately, I see this fight as AFK Lucius trying to rush to the other two, only to get blasted with magic from two others, potentially stronger fighters, and dying almost immediately. Lucius from Harry Potter trying to keep a range, while Lucius from Fire Emblem pushes forward, spamming more powerful attacks while dodging everything that's thrown at him until he wins.